Diego Maradona. For millions of people around the world, that name is so much more than just a footballer. He was an icon, a true phenomenon. So, today, we're going to dive into the key moments that really forged this incredible legend and cemented his place in history forever. To really understand Maradona, we have to start with his central question, one that pretty much frames his entire story. How can a single game, just one performance on the biggest stage imaginable, end up defining an entire career? It's a question we're about to see answered in the most spectacular way possible. All right, so where does a story like this even begin? Well, every legend has an origin, and Maradona starts in Argentina. His talent was just obvious, right from an incredibly early age. We're not just talking about a promising young player here. This was something the world had literally never seen before. Now think about this number for a second, 15. That's how old Maradona was when he made his professional debut for Argentinos Juniors. 15. While most kids his age were still in school, he was already on the pitch, kickstarting a career that was going to change the game forever. Okay, so a talent that massive, it's not going to stay in one country for very long. Maradona makes the huge leap to Europe, which is, the ultimate test for any footballer. And there he would go on to play for some of the biggest clubs in the world. So after a big move to giants like Barcelona, it was his time at Napoli in Italy that really became the stuff of legend. I mean, he took this historically overlooked club from the south and led them to not one, but two Serie A titles. For the city of Naples, this was way more than just football. It was a victory over the powerful, richer northern clubs. He wasn't just a player to them, he was a symbol of their rise. But, for all his amazing success with his clubs, the absolute peak of Maradona's career, the moment that took him from being a superstar to being an immortal, that happened on the international stage. We are talking, of course, about the 1986 World Cup in Mexico. It really all boils down to this one simple, powerful fact. He led Argentina to World Cup glory. And this wasn't a case of him just being on a great team. No, this was about him, through sheer force of will and just breathtaking talent, basically carrying an entire nation to the highest honor in all of sports. And his influence, it was just undeniable. Get this, he captained Argentina in 16 different World Cup matches throughout his career. That number alone, it just tells you everything you need to know about his leadership and the incredible trust his team put in him. Now, within that legendary 1986 tournament, there's one single match that stands head and shoulders above all the others, the quarterfinal against England. It's a game that contains the two most famous goals in the history of football, and it perfectly captures the two sides of Maradona's genius. So first, you have the controversy, the infamous Hand of God. It was a clever, totally illegal, and just audacious goal scored with his hand that the referee completely missed. It's a moment that people have been arguing about for decades, and it perfectly shows his cunning, win-at-all-costs mentality. But just as the world was trying to wrap its head around that controversy, something absolutely incredible happened. Just 4 minutes later, Maradona would erase every single doubt and silence every critic, with a moment of pure, undeniable genius that would be etched in history forever. He gets the ball deep in his own half. We're talking over 60 yards or about 55 meters from the goal, and he just goes. He weaves past 1, 2, 3, 4 English players, then calmly goes around the keeper to score what is now forever known as the goal of the century. It was just a breathtaking run that showed his total mastery of the game in a few magical seconds. So after a career filled with these unbelievable highs, what is Maradona's lasting legacy? Well, it goes way beyond just trophies and goals. He completely redefined what it was possible for a player to be. In football, some jersey numbers are special, but none, and I mean none, are as iconic as the number 10. Maradona is the one who made that number mean what it means today. All across the world, the best player on the team, the creative genius, they wear the number 10. And that, right there, is a direct tribute to him. So, what were the raw ingredients of his greatness? What made him so good? Well, it really came down to a few core things. His dribbling was just on another level. The ball looked like it was glued to his feet. His low center of gravity gave him this unbelievable sense of balance. And his vision? He saw passes that literally no one else on the pitch could even imagine. And his connection to the game, it truly spanned his entire life. From that debut as a teenager way back in 1976 to the absolute peak of winning the World Cup in '86, he even came back to manage the national team at the 2010 World Cup. Football was just in his blood. Which brings us right back to where we started, and to one final question. The hand of God versus the goal of the century, all happening just minutes apart. What do you think is more powerful in shaping a legend? A moment of pure, untouchable genius, or a moment of unforgettable controversy? With Diego Maradona, the thing is, you just can't have one without the other.